Let's get started with modifiers. I'll discuss their mechanics with a simple demonstration. I'll create a box primitive. And as I do that, observe that there are numbers changing in the parameters rollout. This rollout is here really for your convenience so that you can make adjustments to the object immediately after you create it. I'll leave this box with one segment for its length, width, and height, making it the simplest possible box. If I right-click to exit the box tool, we lose the creation parameters rollout. Even if you go back to the box tool, you won't be able to modify the existing object. The parameters here say zeros because these are the parameters for a brand new box should we choose to create one. If you want to modify the existing box, you'll have to go to the Modify panel. And you can do that quickly by pressing number 2 on the keyboard. That's an alternative to coming up here and clicking on the Modify panel. Now the creation parameters are available here and forevermore. This area here is called the modifier stack, and it's a resizable window. The stack is always read from bottom to top. The bottom object is called the base object. In this case, it's the box primitive. I'll open the modifier list and assign the bend modifier. It appears above the base object and modifies everything that appears below it in the stack. In this case, it's merely bending the box. The parameters for the bend modifier are shown here, below this bar. I can click on Box in the stack to access the creation parameters. So what appears below this bar depends upon what you have selected in the stack. I'll go back up to bend and notice that there's an orange set of edges surrounding the box. This is called the bend gizmo. I'll increase the bend angle by dragging this spinner up, and we'll start to see an effect. Now the bend modifier is creating this nice smooth curve here, trying to bend the box over. But I wouldn't really say that the box is bending. It's more like it's tipping over. And that's because the box primitive doesn't have enough internal structure called topology to support this modification. To understand this, I'll turn on edged faces and you'll be able to see the topology on the screen. I'll go down the stack to the base object and increase the number of height segments. And as I do that, observe that the box conforms more and more to the shape of the bend modifier gizmo. I'll go back up to bend, and you can see that now very clearly. Now watch what happens if I change the bend axis. I'll choose the X radio button here. So we're asking the object to bend in this direction now, but it's not really bending smoothly, it's merely widening out at the top. Once again, that's because the box primitive doesn't have enough topology in that direction. I can rectify the situation by going back to the base object and increasing the number of width segments. And as I do that, the box conforms to the bend gizmo. Now let's say this was the form that I've been trying to model all along. If that's the case, I should come back in here and decrease the height segments to the minimum because they're not adding to the form at all. We only need width segments if we want to bend the box in this direction.